Greetings, this is Bradford Donald Keller Townsend, and this is a brief introduction to Jewish mysticism. I'm on the website for Jewish Virtual Library. I'm just going to read a couple paragraphs and then make a couple of comments. The Zohar, Hebrew, splendor, radiance, that's what Zohar means, is widely considered the most important work of Kabbalah, Jewish mysticism. It is a mystical commentary on the Torah, which is the 5 books of Moses, written in medieval Aramaic and medieval Hebrew. It contains a mystical discussion of the nature of God, the origin and structure of the universe, the nature of souls, sin, redemption, good and evil, and related topics. The Zohar is not one book, but a group of books. These books include scriptural interpretations as well as theosophic theology, mystical cosmology, mystical psychology, and what some would call anthropology. And I'm going to go down here to mysticism. Woe unto the man, says Simon ben Yohai, who asserts that this Torah intends to relate only commonplace things and secular narratives. For if this were so, then in the present times likewise a Torah might be written with more attractive narratives. In truth, however, the matter is thus. The upper world and the lower world are established upon one and the same principle. In the lower world is Israel, and in the upper world, the angels. And angel is usually the Hebrew word messenger. When angels wish to descend to the lower world, they have to don earthly garments. If this be true of the angels, how much more so of the Torah, for whose sake indeed the world and the angels were alike and created to exist. The world could simply not have endured to look upon it. Now the narratives of Torah are its garments. He who thinks that these garments are the Torah itself deserves to perish and have no share in the world to come. Woe unto the fools who look no further when we see an elegant robe. More valuable than the garment is the body which carries it, and more valuable even than that is the soul which animates the body. Fools see only the garment of the Torah, and more intelligent see the body. The wise see the soul, its proper being, and in Messianic time, the upper soul of the Torah will stand revealed. Now, I'm going to translate into modern scientific terminology and jargon. There's genetic, morphic, resonance, nested fields. And we know what genetic is. It comes from a seed, and the seed has the instructions or blueprints that help build an embryo or a plant. Then the word morphic is shape, and field. We think of a bar magnet when you are in kindergarten and they spread the magnetic dust, the metallic dust, and then it formed, you can see the magnetic field lines. So what the Kabbalah is, God, HaShem, in Hebrew is the Creator, and that's the most common term for God. And God would be that with an infinite power to shape matter and energy at the subatomic, atomic, structural level and change the vibrations and the connections to reform and constitute matter. And an angel could be thought of as a morphic nested field where you have resonance. That means you have more than one field force and they work together, kind of. And then you can have interference in the physics term where waves can hit each other, forming a new pattern. And you see wave interference come into quantum mechanical descriptions. And the Sephirot you could see as different energy fields. And we know that from the DNA project, that was a big project, that humans have fewer smaller DNA than rice plants by quite a bit. So we don't. There's more, and there's creatures without DNA that have shape. So the mysticism of the Kabbalah, where God's breath, God's light, God's sound, speaking Hebrew, created all of existence. And by speaking, that is an analog to this powerful, you could think of it as an electromagnetic field that's able to manipulate matter and energy and create plant tissues, crystals, and complex compounds. So if you had an infinite capability to manipulate that field, you could like give instructions and it could shape and create the universe. So the very language of Hebrew is the language of creation, and that's why every letter, the words as they're combined together, are analyzed, and all have been, every single word in the Torah, combinations of words making phrases and concepts, everything has analyzed, and then there's numerology involved. So every letter has a meaning, and how they're combined, their combinations and permutations have meanings. And this deeper meaning, so the stories in the Torah sometimes show flaws in, I guess you could say, the main protagonists. And there could be, like he said, more entertaining stories. But that, there's like 4 different levels of interpretation of the Torah and the Tanakh, like the books of wisdom, the Psalms, the books of the Judges, Yeshua, and so forth. So I just thought I would go ahead and follow up, because I didn't quite cover the mysticism of Judaism in my last video. This is only a very brief introduction, but I'm just kind of trying to reach out to the other nations and religions and tribes out there in a benevolent way to share who we are, so that there seems to be a little bit of hatred out there and misunderstanding of what Judaism is. But I think everything I've said is kosher and would pass muster with most rabbis, be they Reformed or like a Brezhnever Hasidic. Well, cheerio, and have a great day.